Hi, my name is Alexander Valyalkin, and I'm on KubeCon 2026. I'm here to answer your questions about VictoriaMetrics.
Welcome to the VictoriaMetrics Q&A KubeCon edition. We're here in Amsterdam with our founders.
I'm reading, yeah.
Still hiring? Yes. Any pressure from ClickHouse? No. Any concern on licensing change? No. Any chance to merge all three products into one? No, right now. I am Artem, co-founder CEO of VictoriaMetrics, and thank you for having me here. Are we still hiring? Yes. Currently we're about 60 people and should be 90 people in the end of the year. And this also, we always hire out of our plan if we see a really good candidate.
We're constantly looking for talent. I believe that people are making company, and getting good people is always make company better. So we constantly look for talent or people who are motivated to do things, to change things how they are, to improve the world, make it better, who have this passion in them. Of course, we're looking for such people. It would be an honor to get them to the team.
We are a fully remote company because we started hiring 1 month before COVID. This made us fully remote. We want to be remote because we see a lot of benefits. The main benefits, we can hire everywhere across the world.
Well, it turns out in modern world it's easier to run business like that. You are not limited with geographical place. People can do and leave whenever they want. So far, no. I didn't see significant pressure from this. It's good to have competitors, though. I believe that it's not only ClickStack. There are many companies doing similar things in observability. And only when they compete, we get the better products. We can all learn something from each other. We can all talk to people who choose in between those solutions. I think it's super beneficial for end user in the end.
We are in a good position, and ClickHouse, observability stack for ClickHouse doesn't treat us yet. Probably it will treat us in the future. Let's see. But I like the competition.
So ClickHouse first is a great technology, and we are going to roll up on the market. Market is large enough to be together there. So, but personally, I don't think that is a huge problem, but of course noticeable company. Apache 2, that's our license for today, for tomorrow, for this year, next year, years after.
No concerns at all. We're pretty sure we will continue with Apache 2 license for a long time. There were no even a single talk so far to somehow change license. We really like that we are Apache 2 license and everyone can use us without any restrictions. That's how software should be.
From my opinion, changing the licensing is more like a legal issue. If tomorrow, I don't know, AWS going to release VictoriaMetrics product in AWS just because we have Apache 2, extremely nice news. That means more adoption and better visibility across the world. So, not today, not tomorrow, not closest years. I don't know about 20 years in the future, but I still think that we are Apache 2 and will be Apache 2.
Mm-hmm. I don't consider it as advantage. Both metrics, logs, and traces, they have different type of load and it's just different types of signals you need to process. Unifying them in a single database that runs as a single process seems like disadvantage to me. The correlations are still happening using different APIs, and many products outside doing that.
When we started thinking about logs after the traces, we thought about this, but we immediately reject this idea. 3 different signals, and they should be separately. Even our log storage is written to suit particular one signal rather than to do work for all of them. As the first point. Second point, most likely you don't want to have everything together at one place. Why so? Because one signal can affect other signals, and instead of the one outage, we'll have 3 outages. Next things, again, data is different, load is different. So comparing logs, metrics, and traces, logs are dominant here, and the volume of logs much higher than volumes of traces and metrics for now. And definitely you need different types of the hardware to solve these scalability effects, even for same company.
Also, metrics, logs, and traces have different configuration options. And I also think that it's not a good idea for operations to merge all these configuration options in a single binary, in a single configuration file. It will complicate operations and debugging.
So no, we didn't consider merging these 3 products into one, and it's so far easier to just maintain them as separate projects. We have different teams working on each product, and they're not like, it's just easier for them to go alone, isolated.
You can have wide events for logs, and wide events can solve a lot of the problems, but upon some limit.
Logs and wide events require a lot of computer resources and a lot of disk space for storing and for querying it compared to metrics. And that's why I believe that logs and wide events cannot replace metrics at all.
If you're small, if you're medium, if you know what you're doing, use wide events. If you're large enough, I still think that you don't have enough resources just to manage these structured JSON logs as the one and main signal for your entire observability.
But on the other hand, wide events are great. You can build any metrics from these wide events and logs on the fly. But the question is the resource usage and disk space usage and querying time.
And wide events limits you from some of these angles. Like, it will be hard.
I don't have such plans. From what I see AI developing so rapidly, then having a proprietary agent for that is not required anymore. Like the agents that you can get for free outside the Claude agent, they can already talk to your MCP servers, already talk to APIs, read your documentation. They can do all the useful things for you. So why limiting people with using your proprietary agent? So far, I don't see much value in it. I think it will develop naturally.
Let me answer on a little bit different one. What do you think about AI and the future, and how it's related to VictoriaMetrics? We are really popular across AI companies. You can find this information in internet. And why it's so? Because we can process a lot of the data. We can return the data with the good amount of time, seconds or milliseconds, and that's allowed to users as the knowledge-based storage for the observability, and that's why we are popular. In terms of the AIOps, SRE, and things like that, I hope there will be progression on the market, because observability is still very complex. And what we are going to provide, first and main things, efficient storages. Second things, integration effort. If you want to create integration with VictoriaMetrics, logs or traces, you can do that. That will be enough for community to do AI on top of our ecosystem, and we are going to solve the problem.
No plans for building profiles.
First things, every year I try to focus company on enhancing our ecosystem and mention, folks, we should make our products better. And that's really, really must-have things. If tomorrow there will be really good opportunity for releasing profiling eBPF, I'm definitely waiting for that. But I think we have a lot of stuff to do right now.
From time to time, we consider what can be moved from enterprise to open source. This simplifies maintaining features. As an example of this is the Graphite API for querying data. It was initially an enterprise feature, and then it was moved to open source. So now everyone who migrated from Graphite Stack, they can just use VictoriaMetrics as a replacement for both for ingestion and for reading APIs?
One of the most popular things is downsampling in metrics. Most likely, our sales team will never allow us to do these things. However, in open source, you already have a couple of the options how you can achieve that. If you cannot achieve that in open source, there will be feature in open source. If you can achieve that in open source, but enterprise provides you more useful tools, that will be enterprise. So that's every time spending your money and your engineering time versus the buying the license, and I think it's fair.
Yes, for high cardinality, we have really good thing called Cardinality Explorer. It does two things. It helps you to explore the most expensive metrics. It shows how much time series they contain, so you can immediately see those metrics that consume the most of your compute. And the second thing, we store the history of how many times and when the specific metric name was queried. Of course, we have intention to make it even easier. So additionally to when metric was queried, I'm thinking on how to let people know who queried that metric, even that happened, like which client or where this request came from. I think that would be also helpful to identify who that client that uses this specific metric name.
There are plans to add support for object storage in VictoriaMetrics after we will release the support for object storage in VictoriaLogs. Initially, VictoriaMetrics had a global index across all the retention period in VictoriaMetrics, and this could complicate implementing this support for object storage, for storing the data for object storage, because you need to constantly update this global index in object storage. And the reason why object storage wasn't supported yet in VictoriaLogs and VictoriaMetrics because of performance reasons, because object storage has very big latencies for accessing the data, and this means that when you read the data from different locations in object storage, and this can result in very big query slowdown. Okay. When we implemented, decided how to implement VictoriaMetrics replication high availability in VictoriaMetrics, I decided that it's better to provide the ability to replicate data at vm-insert level, but the time showed that was not a good idea, because increased resource usage, because you need to store much more data, replicated data across storage nodes. VictoriaMetrics cluster has some rerouting issues with the which increase disk space, CPU usage and memory usage on other storage nodes during this rolling upgrades. That's why when I was designing a high availability scheme for VictoriaLogs, I decided that do not implement this replication scheme at insert nodes. I hope that this answers your questions, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next KubeCon.